All right, it's that time of year. We're starting to get back into some football. So I thought I'd dive in. We got to watch a little bit with the Hall of Fame game and take a look at Trey Lance, one of the top picks for the 49ers a few years ago. Obviously bounced around to a couple different teams, but I thought he had a really good outing in the Hall of Fame game. And it's fun to see guys grow. This was a young guy that only played, I think, 19 games in college, so we knew he was going to be a project. It was going to take some time, and it looks like the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, whoever else involved there have done a nice job in bringing him along in this process. And so let's go ahead and take a look. I like it. They start out with a little naked bootleg, really just a simple high-low, right? Simplify things best you can. Now, I would love to see, and I always watch with quarterbacks as they go to throw these naked bootlegs, where does their course finish up? Meaning, after they throw, are they falling away or are they attacking their throw as much as possible? Young quarterbacks out there, we always want, since he doesn't have any pressure on the edge, we always want to get downhill and allow our body and power to go where we're throwing it. So we want to come downhill if possible. You'll notice here, really good throw. I thought the throw was a little bit flat, almost got knocked down, and a big reason why I believe is because, again, you're going to see his course. His course has taken him this way. His body and power is going to the sideline, and he's got to turn and make this throw, to his receiver. So you have to put a little bit more arm on it when your body is going a different direction, which means the ball comes out a little bit flatter as opposed to the ability to engage the core and throw with a little bit more touch. So still a good football right here. Nice read, puts it right on the money. I'd like to see him attack this throw a little bit more and lay it up to the back corner. They really like this read right here. Okay, so play we call Pogo. So we're going to have a go on the outside here. Then we're going to have a corner. And we're going to have a flat. I think it's the back coming out here on the flat right here. And then we got an in on the backside. Now, against cover two, I'm a guy that likes to throw it back to the in. I like to work this side because when you get cover two, what you notice is this corner's responsibility is to play the flat area of the field. And because he's got a lot of width here, he's outside the numbers already, he can bait you into to making a throw. He sits outside the flat, you throw the flat, he blows it up. He sits outside, you try to throw the corner in there, and he sees it because his eyes are back in towards you because everything's happening inside of him, and he falls off and he takes away the corner. What we always want to try to do with defenses is force them to cover width and depth. So because of the position of the corner right here, you notice that he really just has to play depth, right? He has to play the flat with depth, or he's got to play the corner with depth because he's already got the width that he needs. Now, one thing that I always thought when I was playing against a cover two team, and if I wanted to try to throw a corner route, I would throw what I call a hole shot on the corner route, which means a hole shot on the outside would be between the safety and the corner. A hole shot on a corner route to me meant I'm not going to let the corner get way outside wide where this cornerback is sitting out by the numbers. I'm going to try to drive it in this hole if I want to throw it against cover two. And that way it forces this defender that if he's going to take it away, now he's starting to play width and depth. And you're going to see it right here. Okay, so the corner has his width here. Okay, so you see this window that's right here. If I want to come out and cover two and I feel like this corner keeps a lot of width, I can come out and drive that throw in the hole. But watch this corner. Okay, so you see the corner there. He's starting to fall to the inside. Okay, so he's got width here, he's got depth here, and he's holding his width, but now he's going to have to come in here if he's going to take this away. And so you see it right here how he starts to fall inside. Okay, he starts to fall inside to take away that hole. And what's that do? Forcing him to cover width and depth. Now he gets out of position. Nice job by Trey Lance to come down on the throw right here. If we're reading that flat defender, who's the cornerback there, he's coming down to the flat because he feels that guy. Pinch back to the inside. Boom. Nice space on the outside. Maybe a little better throw right there. If the back can turn to the outside, it's probably a bigger play, but really, really like the decision by Trey there. Really good throw. Really good job right here, okay? We're getting a go route over here to this side. Nice route by the receiver here, but what you're going to watch is Trey does a great job of coming back. Eyes stay down the middle of the field. Eyes stay down the middle of the field. His eyes are still to the middle of the field right here. It's exactly what we want. Till we hit that back foot, then we're going to turn and find our guy on the throw, but you see what it does. His free safety stays right in the middle of the field. So I always talk about the width and depth. I just talked about it on the last play. That's what we want to force with the free safety too, is we want him to have to play both. His responsibility is depth. If he's going to come over here and try to cover this go route, he's got to cover width. Now, for me, I like to be able to throw this 42 to 45 yards on a go route, which means the receiver's going to be back behind where this safety is. So now it's even harder for him to play width, because he's got to play width and he's got to take the perfect angle to be able to cut off this go route. So we want to throw these go routes. We don't want to throw them quick, so that free safety just has to go straight sideways to make a play. We want him to have to go sideways and back and try to figure out that whole angle. So we want to hold that safety as long as possible and then lay that ball out there. And again, you see the look right here. It's still a fairly quick throw. See how the free safety can simply just go sideways here and he gets a chance to meet this, okay? That's where being behind him is a nice thing. So we'd like to be able to hold this, throw this ball out over the top, so that guy's got to make a better play. But nice ball to the outside shoulder, sets it in there, and sets it in there quick enough that he helps his guy avoid the hit by that free safety. So some really good things right there, just in terms of discipline with the eyes, ball placement. Okay? Anticipation. Anticipation becomes really, really key. And so Trey, as he's growing through some things, one of the things earlier in his career, I felt like he struggled to be able to read through things. Well, we saw him on that Pogo concept, read through it, see the corner fall off. Really well done, okay? Using your eyes and those little nuanced things that help you to be successful at this level. We saw that on the last play with the go route, okay? The next one is anticipation. So he's going to get man-to-man right here. So this is a man-to-man concept. What we really like is this corner route right here. And you'll see that he takes his eyes over to that side right there. Now I got to just let it go. These are the plays that you have to trust your guy, anticipate, and let it go. Your guy's got leverage. Your guy's up over the top. Now, this is where all the work comes in training camp. Lay this ball out there. You got the perfect look for man-to-man coverage. You've got to be on the same page with your receiver and anticipate and let that thing go. Not real comfortable with it there. And again, I'm not saying it's a great route. I would have loved for this guy to go a little bit higher because the guy fell underneath him. But all that is what playing in the NFL is all about. You seeing it, you have to trust it, you throw it where you expect him to go, and you live for another down. Playing man-to-man coverage, if you pass on your best option, now you find yourself caught trying to create, trying to make something happen, and it turns into a throwaway right here. Whether he completes the first throw or not, that's kind of another step is, hey, anticipate. You're looking at it. You're in the right spot. Now let it go and trust what your guy's going to do. Learn from these moments, especially in preseason. So when you get into game action and you're in this kind of situation, you love man-to-man on corner routes. Got to be able to just lay that out there and complete it. All right, so tough one here. They end up coming back with a post and then the deep over route here. And I believe their back is supposed to get out of here the flat. So ultimately what we're really looking to do is trying to get the high-low with this over and flat right here. But the Lions bring pressure and Trey ends up losing his back here, which makes this a really tough play, loses his back because we don't have that pull on this flat defender any longer. So really the only throw that Trey has here is to feel that flat defender, and that flat defender gets width there, so he's outside the numbers. Another one of those hole shot type plays that instead of this ball going up and over this defender because I've got him in a bind with a flat underneath him and he starts to pull up, now don't have him in that bind. There's a chance to drive this throw in the over spot. Not easy. That's next level type football where you start to realize, okay, there's different kinds of ways to throw the over depending on what happens on the backside. Normally, as I said, this is a high-low and we're playing his depth and the throw either goes over the top of him by the numbers or it goes underneath him to the flat. Hey, we lose that, or you come back and you want to try to get this over. Got to be able to feel some of that stuff on the backside and understand the different kinds of throws. And you see, there's a possibility, if he anticipates this, right there, hitting the over in between the hash and the numbers. Not saying it's easy. That is next level football as I'm talking about, the things that Trey needs to still continue to get better at. But there was a lot of really good things in this tape and things that I love to talk about, like teaching tape as you're going to the next level, starting to understand these little nuances. Pogo, corner stays outside, maybe a hole shot on the corner, maybe a hole shot here on the deep over, understanding the complexion of the defense. And then, of course, on that one, hey, you get out there, you don't have it, bad play because we lost the back, throw the ball away. Just save yourself instead of trying to feel like you've always got to make the play. Save yourself another down, throw the football away, and avoid a sack. I like this one. I like the anticipation. I like the fact that this guy here gets pushed back in his lap, sees the guy come down here in man-to-man. He's going to hit this little hook route right here. But I love that there's a guy in his face, standing there, be able to deliver over the top. Nice, accurate throw. One of the things that I really like watching Trey is I just like to see his base, his feet. They're not coming together. They're holding width, kind of shoulder width, maybe a little bit outside his shoulder width. Good balance and base, which is always going to make you more accurate. Something that I saw in this game that I really like, that I feel like he's gotten better at, and it calculated into more accurate throws. All right, I thought this was good, but also good teaching tape. So they're going to run a choice route right here, okay? Now, here's how I always taught my choice routes, and I'll show you why, okay? Is I always taught my choice routes that the first thing that we want to do is break out. So if we can win to the outside and break out, we would like that because there's always extra bodies in here. And so we'd like to capture whoever that flat defender is, capture his outside number and break out if we can. So the first thing that I always do on a choice is I want my guy to widen. Okay, so we want him to widen 2 or 3 yards. You'll notice where this guy is. A lot of times that flat defender head up to just inside. So capture his outside right now. You capture his outside, now push vertical. Okay, once you've captured his outside, he's got to move. If he stays there, we're in great position to push up and break out. If he doesn't stay there and he comes working really, really hard to the outside because we got width, now I got to stay outside of him. Now he pushes with width and my choice route can push out and now he can hook right in that position. He doesn't have to break it inside. This defender has run outside to take away the outside. Now what we've done with that 2 or 3 yards of width is we've put ourselves further away from that next defender that's there. I've created width. I try to win to the outside, but in creating width, I force the outside linebacker to buzz hard and get a bunch of width. Now, boom, just a quick little hook. Now we can complete this, and we've got space away from this defender. Watch this choice route here. This choice route runs straight up. He runs straight up. He doesn't force this guy to do anything. He runs straight up, doesn't move that guy, creates no space. Trey's trying to hit him, and the guy's sitting right on his lap. But what I loved about this was he's right on his lap, and it was a great reaction back to the inside for the check down. Hey, I don't have it. I don't like the route there. I don't like what they're doing. Boom. I'm going to get right back in, know where my check down is, and get a completion. Really well done. And that's the kind of growth that you see. Instead of trying to force it, instead of taking off and running, hey, I don't have number one, where's my check down? Young guys, always know where your check down is. You don't like the look of something, you miss something, you don't process it very well. Find your check down and get a completion. All right, little double slant combination right here. So slant, slant. It's great teaching tape right here. Okay, so when we have double slant, okay, we're really trying to get this outside slant if we can. But there are times, and we're always going to kind of see it inside out, even though we expect to get the outside one more. We want to see the inside one and be able to react to it. So what happens is Detroit brings inside pressure right here. So with that inside pressure, we would love to be able to peak that inside slant. So that's the first side. Hey, we got pressure right there. Okay, there's a shot right there. Easier, quicker throw right there with the pressure coming. We're replacing the pressure that's coming with that inside linebacker, and we've got a shot inside. Okay, no problem. Hey, it's tight. So I think too many guys force this inside slant anyways, so it's okay with me for him to go, don't really like that with press coverage. I'm still going to work the outside slant. But what you need to see, quarterbacks, coaches, what you need to teach is, Trey, you need to see that it's press out there. Because with press, the timing of the throw is different. It's not like you're throwing a slant against air, back, hit the back foot, boom, ball's out. You know exactly when it's coming out. With press, we have got to hold on our back foot and give the outside receiver the time to work his release, to lean on the defender, and then separate. And that's what becomes the problem right here. He's trying to throw it like a normal slant, and you'll notice what's happening, right? He's throwing it. This guy's still caught up with the defender, and they miss this throw, boom, because he's thrown it too quick. He's throwing it based off of normal, off coverage, throwing against air. Now we've got press. I've got to see that. It's got to register. So now I'm back. I'm holding on my back foot, and I'm giving my receiver a chance to get off of that press and win. You see, he's going to win. Defender even falls right here. So he's got it. It's just we've got to make sure that we time it up and understand what the big picture is on this slant look from the get-go. All right, really good seam throw right here. Detroit a little bit late. They're looking like it's a middle closed, and they're going to run late to try to play a cover two. Nice recognition if Trey's able to see this. We've got the double seam right here where he's going to work this safety 2-on-1. Comes back. Beautiful. Mike linebacker turns and opens to the field. We got a shot here. If you feel this safety squeezes, boom, you got your shot to the outside. Comes back. Again, you see a nice base there. Drives the throw on the seam. I love it. Good timing. Quick hitch. Ball's right on the body of his big guy. Love the timing of that. Love the quickness of the decision. All things that you're seeing him improve on as he's working through things and as he's moved here to the Chargers. Okay, here's another look. We got the double slant. Again. All right, another look with off coverage, and then they bring pressure once again. Easier throw is right there with the off coverage if you like it. Never going to be mad because, again, this play is designed to get it to the outside slant. Never going to be mad if we hit the outside slant, but you see, boom, right there. There's a great chance for this one right here, but he does a nice job on the outside. Holding on that foot. Get set. Let him separate. Put the ball right on the money. Gets himself another touchdown. All right. So just little details here. This isn't so much about Trey as it is this detail out here. Okay, so it looks like they're going to run just an out and a go route to this side. All right, I want you to watch the outside receiver here as I release this. They get cover two, and what's he do? He goes inside the corner. All right, and we've got an out route right here. This is what we call an MOR. Details are so important. Must outside released. MOR, must outside release. Because when he goes inside, he plays right into this corner's hands. This corner's able to jam him. He's able to keep his eyes inside. and he's able to shrink the window between him and the next linebacker, so there's really no throw for Trey Lance. What we want to try to force as a receiver is get your width. Let him come with you. Even by getting outside of him, must outside release, by getting outside of him, if he wants to jam me, he's got to turn his eyes to the sideline and gives me a chance to drive this in there. There's more distance between the two linebackers here, or the linebacker and the corner who's playing at the linebacker position. There's more distance if you go outside of him. Turn his eyes gives me an extra tick. But when you go inside, the details, right, it squeezes it. You see how it squeezes this guy in here. There's no chance for Trey on this particular throw. Looks like he's working that side and then come back here to what we call the return and the swing. And he's probably got one of them if he wants to complete it right here. But he takes it, gets a positive gain, and again, steps that we want to see. Hey, you look over here at number 1, you don't like it, have the ability to work back to 2 and 3 without panicking. Areas that he still needs to grow a little bit. But could have got a little help from his receivers. Didn't help him with that particular concept. Details are so important. The little things are so important, and how they affect a quarterback. You may be thinking as a receiver, hey, I just need to get down the field as fast as I can. I got to run a go route. I got to clear out what's going on down the field. But that's not always the case. It's not always about you getting open. It's not always about you affecting the safety. Sometimes it's affecting the underneath coverage so it can help your quarterback and the other receivers to have a chance to be successful. All right, another one that I really like. So we get to quarter coverage right here. Okay, we got quarters across the board. Basically running seams on the inside, goes on the outside. I'm not a big fan of trying to hit seams against quarters because these quarter safeties are taught to be inside and lower so they can drive that. I always like to go outside. So for me, this would be, I'm going to start with one of these one-on-one go throws on the outside. Do I like one of the one-on-one go throws? If I like it, take it. If the corners are too far off, they're too soft, I don't really like the matchup, I'm going to peek it, and then I'm going to get right down to my back. It looks like Trey may be reading it inside here. And again, I just want you to watch the safety. This is why I don't like seams here. Now, this guy goes underneath. Normally, he's going to go over the top of this linebacker and then have to bend inside of a safety. But just watch the safety. Boom, drive, right? He's trying to bait you into throwing that seam because that's his responsibility, and he's not worried about what's going on out here because he's got help. That's why, to me, when I get quarters, I'm staying outside. I'm staying with my one-on-one and then work to my check down. The good thing is, even though Trey looked inside, he didn't get baited into making that throw. Boom, get to your check down, get a completion, and let's go. All right, again, details for me as much as anything. And I don't understand this, although a lot of teams do it. So they come in with the naked once again down here. And with the naked, you're going to see they're going to wrap this guy to the flat. Normally when we have nakeds down here, we're going to have a crosser, and then we're going to have somebody, if they're in a tight alignment, this guy's going to go to the corner. What I never understand is why they tell this outside receiver to go inside. Okay, so what you always have to remember, or what I always like to think about when I'm designing a play is, what am I trying to get open on a play? So when I'm running a naked bootleg, I'm not trying to get the corner. Now the corner could happen, and we could get a high-low, but I'm not trying to get the corner. What I'm trying to do is get the defense to work in this direction, and then I'm trying to get the flat over here. I'm trying to fool them and trying to slow them down in the run game by running a little play action and booting out the other side, and we're really trying to throw the flat route here. Everything else is a bonus, whether we hit the crosser or the corner, but we design plays to get our primary guy open. And so I've never understood why we go inside here to run a corner route, because it's really, really hard to beat a defender on a corner route if we're going inside of him. So for me, if I'm running this from a tight alignment, I'm going to burst outside. I'm going to get the outside leverage that I want. I'm going to hold this guy, and then I'm going to run to the corner with a chance to win. If nothing else, I'm clearing out whatever is over here so I can get the flat open. if I get a cover 2 look, okay, so there's a safety playing back here, and I'm going to high-low this corner with a corner flat combination. The other thing by getting width is it gives me leverage on the safety so I can beat him as well. So I never really understand why guys go inside, because we're not really trying to beat somebody on the backside with this corner route. It doesn't influence these linebackers when a receiver goes inside like that. So to me, you're going to go to win, and you're going to go to try to free up that space there for this guy coming to the flat. And so you're going to see how this plays out here on the naked. Doesn't have the flat, but you see how tough it is for that guy, and he ends up getting outside of him here. But it's really tough. He's got to cross over him. He leaves this guy outside, so it's a tight alignment right here. You don't feel as comfortable as a quarterback. And although Trey makes a pretty darn good throw right here against a very, very tough look on the move with the guy in his face, I think they could have helped themselves out simply by technique. Boom, release outside. Now lean on the defender. Keep him inside of you. Now Trey sees it a lot cleaner, and he can lay this thing up to the back corner instead of coming out and going, oh my gosh, that guy's sitting inside of you. Now I got to make a tough late throw to the corner out. Again, to me, it's just little details. And I just want to know why. Why go inside? What does going inside help you with there? Because even if it's zone coverage and I go inside, it can free up the corner to sit outside and see the flat coming. So everything to me is designed to get that flat open. How do I best clear out that flat area on the backside to get the flat open? And I still want to try to get my corner open and give him the best opportunity. And to me, that's bursting outside as opposed to seaming inside. Really like to read here. It's a play I call knife. So we're going to knife down the middle. Okay, we get a too high safety look. Perfect. I want to try to get this if I can. But if this linebacker wants to carry with him, then we're simply going to replace with unders. Okay, so Mike carries this. I'm looking for the first under. If the Sam squeezes to the first under, then I work to the second under. So here it is. What's the Mike do? Mike turns and runs. Great job. He sees it. Nice job. He comes back. Let's replace it. Get the ball on that first under as quick as possible. Bang. Nice job. Give him a chance to run after catch. Setting us up with the first down right around the 10-yard line. So you see a lot of really good growth from Trey Lance in this first preseason game with the Chargers. Decision making, reading things, knowing where to get his eyes, making some good accurate throws, the balance by which he plays with. Still areas to grow. And again, as I said, he was a project coming in, just getting a chance to play some more football, but really, really like the things I saw in the first outing, and also some great teaching tape on here for coaches of little nuanced things that I think can help an offense, can help certain concepts. But a good first look at football in general, but a good first look at Trey Lance.